future of sports betting, leveraging technology to enhance customer experience.
Thank you, everyone that made it. It means you didn't drink too much last night. As you were told, we don't have a moderator, so the way that we wanted to cover the subject of the future of sports betting was give you guys a little bit of a perspective from each of us, because we all do different things within the sports betting industry. So perhaps the way that we start is with a little bit of an introduction.
Hello, thank you for coming. My name is Dariia. I'm head of product at the MegaPari.com. We are operators. We provide sportsbook and online casino for players working worldwide. So please welcome all if you like betting as me.
And stop by Daria's booth later. What's your booth number?
2126. Please come.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Andrew at Fun Token Group. I'm the CTO there, so I head up the technology and product teams. The group has a collection of, we're a crypto business, completely on-chain. We've got both centralized and decentralized casinos, but what I want to talk about today is our decentralized peer-to-peer sportsbook. So we're an exchange. We truly believe in kind of like fairness and proverbially fair betting, about transparency and about allowing access to those markets from all customers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Maes. I'm French, if you haven't guessed it from my accent yet. I work for a company called Phenix. We do real-time streaming. So basically, we take any video feed from a stadium or a studio, and we get it delivered into a bookmaker's application in less than half a second, anywhere around the globe.
And my name is Tomash Devenishek. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Kero Gaming. We are a supplier of micro betting to the sports betting industry. So what that really means is we build very short-term based markets. So not your traditional 1x2 or even in-game, standard in-game lines, but rather super small markets. On the next minute, will a specific player take a shot? Will a specific team make a foul, etc.? We do that across football, as most of you know it, or soccer, as we call it in the US. American football, basketball, soon to be baseball and hockey. And as I said, we're a supplier to the industry. So perhaps next we can just pick a topic that will give folks some kind of an insight into the future. If anybody wants to go first, by all means.
I mean, I can start for sure. I mean, we had speeches before on esport and on the new Gen Z generation coming to the betting space. I look today at the customer experience that I have as a punter myself is very much like looking at an Excel spreadsheet and making my bets and hoping they will happen. And when I look at what the Gen Z is doing today is they hold their phone vertical and they go from a TikTok video to another TikTok video. And they want to have a Telegram experience with pop-ups everywhere and stuff like that. And I'm under the impression that one of the things that the betting market needs to do, I mean, the operators and so on, is to bring certainly more of that AR, VR, video-based, instant betting, new currencies, etc. I mean, simplifying and engaging younger people to come and bet. Otherwise, they will stay on TikTok, on Twitch, and not become the future market for operators like yourself.
I think maybe to sum it up, what you're saying is it has to be more of an entertainment product than a trading product.
Well, I mean, certainly right now, I don't see anything appealing for my kids who are now even a bit old. They are 20 plus. For coming on the betting market. They prefer to stay on Twitch or other platforms and finally not bet.
Or they
stay on Discord.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good transition to you.
Yes. Thank you for passing this. I'm also sharing your thoughts and totally agree, because usually players come to the products in case to win, of course, but to do it as fast as possible. So once providing the tools that can be a very much help for leading the client to the deposit in less than 1 minute. It can be done only with crypto as for now. And we are now facing some issues with also banking system and fiat currencies. Probably you've heard about Indian market, about Brazilian market, Turkey, for example. So that's why crypto is a really very much a specific tool for us, which we will use. And also in terms of gamification, of course, we want to have players as long as possible on the platform. So some chatting experience through the online chats, some gamification tools, as you said, like streaming, VR, very much help for us, for players and for operators. It takes usually years in terms of integrate this as a system and also to get players used to this tool, because you see some markets, they're really facing like fire blocks all around the country as they have some specific preferences already. So we are not only facing the new reality, but we are also facing the thing that we should provide it to the player more correctly, more specifically, so he or she will reach us again because of the gamification tool we have.
Yeah, I think we're all effectively saying the same thing, right? We want to take the industry from where more of an engaging product and take it away from the kind of current experience of playing against the house, right? So I think the future could be more of a combination of all of our expertise, all of our company's products that we offer. So I'd like to bring it back more to like the origins of betting, right? You know, I'm a British guy. We're down the pub, we have a bet with our mates about who's going to score first, right? I think bringing it back to that is going to be really nice. From a peer-to-peer perspective, you can actually start betting against a person. You know, we obviously offer bettors and layers on the side. You can take positions each other. That's more of an interactive sort of experience when you can actually surface the live feed and the videos, where you can have the micro bets inside the game. So it's a real combination of all these different aspects, I think, which will really, really enhance and provide the future.
The subject that I'd like to talk about is what I call the casinofication of the sportsbook. Obviously, everyone in the industry knows that casino is where you make the money, but sports is kind of the popular thing, so you acquire people through sports. What we've seen to date with all of our partners that we're live with, I'll just give you guys some metrics. On average, we see about 12 bets per user per game because, again, the user can bet the next corner, then the corner doesn't happen, next foul, etc. And so they're making 12 bets per game, which is, I think, a lot, but some of them are crazy. Like they'll make 40 bets in one game, then go on to the next game and 40 bets on that game. And so throughout the day, you see 160 or plus bets from certain users. And when we initially analyzed that behavior, we realized that what this person is doing is they're actually playing a casino-style game, pretty much. They're not sports betting the way that people typically sports bet, which is think a lot, make that one trade, and then sit there and wait for it to happen. This is becoming a bit more mindless. And I think what that is in line with is the general trajectory of how people consume entertainment, right? It's short-term attention spans, repeatable dopamine, kind of habitual behavior patterns that people get into. And I do genuinely believe that if you look 5 years out, there is no way that we don't get to a place where sportsbook is a lot more casinofied, because I think it serves both sides of the aisle. It helps the users on the entertainment, dopamine, etc. side. They want that. And it obviously helps the operators because they want people, or maybe Dariia, you will correct me if I'm wrong, but it helps them sort of turn sportsbook players into a casino-type player on the sportsbook. So I definitely think that short-term, repeatable, kind of micro attention span type products will be a lot more prevalent in 5 or 10 years' time.
On MegaPari, for example, we usually do the crossing between betting and casino. So mostly the players reach us because of the accumulators and because of the dozens of events. They want to also have some streaming to relax and to win. And afterwards, what if a player loses their game? And then the pushes come on his website or mobile device saying, yes, I'm doing, make some bets on casino. Just relax, chill. Here is your favorite games of recommendations. And this is a really very good instrument if there is an opportunity for you to open both sportsbook and casino. Please do, because players have preferences. And also it is the part of the retention work and of the marketing work to do both, to make your product more interesting in terms of sports and casino.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see how the Asian market on the one side and the US market on the other side are going to influence what is happening or what could happen in Europe. Because you were saying, Tomash, you're expecting 5 or 10 years things to change. And I'm saying, oh my God, 5 or 10 years, this is so far away, if you think. And if you look at what the NFL and Genius Sports, for instance, are announcing in the US, which is a lot of augmented reality. And again, the US is a new market. So they don't have their punters who are used to a certain experience. And so it's still time for them to make a move to bring new things. In Asia, it's all this augmented reality, which is happening everywhere on every platform, not on the betting market, but everywhere else. So that experience will come to betting as well. But in Europe, I have the feeling that operators are still very cautious not to change too much and are a bit patient. So I myself, I'm looking at the Asian market and certainly now the US market even more as the one who will drive this new customer experience.
One thing I'd be interested in, actually, I mean, as an exchange, as a crypto exchange, obviously everything is transparent and fair and accountable and that stuff. I'd like to talk about the Web 2 stuff we bring in as well, right? So it's really only the transactional exchange part that is our crypto business. Everything else we want to kind of bring in information from outside the other wider sphere. So as a technologist myself, I truly believe in data and the analysis of that. So I'm kind of wondering more about how we could bring in additional like metadata, either on the sports, on the players, on the games, everything like this, to make maybe those microtransactions and micro bets, those kind of like more gamification, casinofications of sports, more useful for people.
Yeah, so maybe I'll dive in a little bit to what we do, because I think when we started, it wasn't just about building odds on very short-term markets. There's actually two components to our technology. I'm selling Dariia right now, by the way, in a quiet way. So we build the odds, we build the markets, and that's component A. Component B is actually a set of algorithms that figure out what is actually happening in the game right now. Because I think the biggest problem, and you've sort of mentioned that, is the spreadsheet experience. Right? If you are watching a game, the last thing that you want to do is go through a spreadsheet to find that one needle in a haystack. So our second component of our technology is analyzing the game in real time and picking out what is actually contextual. So if Bayern Munich have been attacking for the last 5 minutes, they've had 3 shots, but all of them were off target. The algorithm will pick that up and say, Bayern are attacking a lot, they're missing shots, will they have a shot on goal in the next 2 minutes? And so what that creates is the abstract of all the work that the user needs to do, and then I think it pairs really well with what you guys are doing, because if it's real-time streaming and you're actually seeing it on the screen, that collectively becomes, again, more of a casino product, because frankly, in casino, people don't have to do a lot of work. They just sit there and they click one button, right? Spin, spin, spin. And so that was our approach, because I came from the kind of mass consumer technology space before I started the company. And so I tried to infuse all of the things that I've seen working at a mass level in general gamification entertainment products. And I think that's the future, right? I think the person is going to, whether it's bet builders even, everything is going to be sort of personalized and curated. People will do a lot less work and consume a lot more entertainment.
Yes, we totally agree on our product. We also integrate so many tools as possible so that the player even cannot understand that he's been checking now on his bets, on his documents. But the security also is the new trend, I think, in all the brands, even because our business, the gambling industry, is facing crypto as the progressive product. And also, to be honest, probably you've heard about the Web3 products, really very good ones where the betting is built on Web3, on the blockchain. And this is also the technology that customers want to accept, because the crypto community is huge, really. And to be honest, giving a chance for a player to be a part of the community is also a new trend in terms of sports and casino also.
Andrew, have you heard of Web3?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, on that point, with the engagement of our product, we've got our tokens on Ethereum and Polygon and stuff like that. So whilst playing on our platforms, people can be part of our community as well. They can buy and hold our token. The profits from that actually go back to the token holders. They can stake our token. So again, it's kind of like driving that circular economy just to keep people engaged and really just be part of that community as opposed to just coming once and then leaving.
My thing about Web3 is, I think it's just so, if you know how to partake, right? Like if you have a wallet, if you have Ethereum, if you have Bitcoin, it is the most seamless account creation experience versus everything you do. I'm from the US, so obviously there's a lot of checks and whatever. Web3 is just boom, get started.
I think there's a lot of room for improvement. That's very kind of you to say, but I think it's still quite clunky. It's not as good as it could be. I think there's huge amount of improvement that we can do to kind of educate people. In the past, there's been too much of a point, I think, about pushing Web3 because it's Web3. We want to use the advantages, but we also want to kind of, remove the disadvantages that it has had for the last 10 years. And I still think there's a lot that we can do with it there. Help people get on board better, sell them into it, provide like I said, the staking, the ownership kind of model, which you can't really do with conventional Web 2 technologies.
And all of that really, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, but it's also a part of the augmented reality, so the metaverse. And if you've heard about Roblox, so for example, in such a reality, they open the casino. Why not to open sports betting there too? And this is also the tendency, as I think, to create a character in such a metaverse, to pretend to be successful, rich, knowing everything, and afterwards also to have the experience not in the online reality, but in the metaverse reality too.
Dariia, what do you think? So you kind of have like three components here, right? You have Web3, incredibly fast streaming, which is cool because no one really has that. You have micros. In your opinion, what is the product that kind of like how Bet Builder is now, right? 5 years ago, it was kind of this, single game parlay, really, what is that? And now everyone has it. What's that one thing in 5 years?
It's crypto wallet.
But that's not a problem the industry solves, right? Like that's a macro crypto problem. That was my caveat, is like if you can teach people how to have wallets and use them, I think it's a go.
Yeah, I think again, if we go back to the customer experience, one of the things also can be improved is the fact that whenever there is something happening on one field, then you attract viewers to that content. And when something is quieter, then you move people away from that content. So, for instance, I don't know if you look at live casino, when the dealer is being rotated, then there's no need watching this. Whilst there is maybe the last quarter of an NBA game where you would like to bring the punters to be active, be engaged, etc. So having a multi-view, a multi-angle kind of service for all of your content that you're getting all the bets on them, being able, of course, to make them better via Web3. I think this is where hopefully you will go, and we can sign a contract at the end of this conference. But that's, I think, what is going to drive the future for the customer experience.
I think if we could sum it up, at least from what I've heard, a lot of it is really just trying to make the experience more seamless and geared towards people just participating, right? Not doing all the side stuff that they typically do, not searching, not waiting for their deposits, not having to look elsewhere for their stream, and basically getting faster to the objective, which is betting, right? Just bet.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess to sum up, I mean, I think in some ways the future is already here. There's some bits of Web3 we can use, there's bits of streaming you can use, there's bits of micro betting that we can use, right? I think the real killer product is when someone puts that and with your augmented reality in one place, right? Each of those verticals are really great in their own. When someone joins it all together in one place, then we've got a real killer app.
Dariia is going to do it tomorrow.
Yes, let's work together and do great products.